Hey guys, J-Man here for a movie review. Transformers Rise of the Beasts. Okay, before I get into this review here, it's going to be non-spoilers, or if there's spoilers, I'll say it before so you have some time. It won't be till the very end, if anything. This Saturday night, I believe we're going to try to do a live stream. Open talk, open mic, come talk to us about Transformers Rise of the Beasts, whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it, whether you agree with me, not agree with me. Let me know your thoughts. It'll be an open mic so anyone can join the stream. Okay. Sean and I, if you've been following along on my channel, know that every week we're doing a Transformers comic book or a cartoon or something. So we've done the first 2 issues of the Marvel series. We're going to continue doing the Marvel comic, I think, till it ends. We'll do Headmasters as well. So looking forward to doing those streams. Those are great. So join us on that if you haven't. My background with Transformers is I love the original cartoons, all 3 seasons, 4 seasons, whatever you want to call it. I've watched maybe half of Headmasters, the Japanese thing. Now I own all of these things. I own all those old cartoons. I own everything up until, geez, I don't know the year, but a lot of it. So I have quite a bit of it. Beast Machines, Beast Wars, all that stuff. But I haven't watched those. So asterisk, I've never watched Beast Machines, Beast Wars, any of that. I own it all. I just never watched it, okay? My opinion on the Bayformer movies, the first, I don't like the first one. I really don't like the second one. The third one is like okay. The fourth one is like, it's too long, but like, I guess it's okay. The fifth one, the last night, is awful. It's a disaster. Bumblebee, I'd probably give Bumblebee like a 5 out of 10. And I'm going to explain my rating system, of course. My rating system is space, story, pacing, artistry, characters, enjoyment. Each category gets a score between 0 and 2. 2 is the best you can get in any category. I rate movies against themselves. When you make a Transformers movie, there are certain expectations. How well did you meet those expectations? And how good is it, you know, for a fan of Transformers, but also just a regular person. So I'm going to try, because like some movies are great films, but maybe not great representations of that character, so or that property. So there is that to consider, but I'm going to try to keep this somewhat generic, non-spoilery. If a movie gets a 1 in every category, that's kind of a pass. So a 5 out of 10 means, yeah, you know, it's a pass, I guess. That's it. 5 or 6, it's like, it's okay. 7 or 8's pretty good. 9 and 10 is awesome. So that's how that works. So when I give a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10, that's what it means. Like I'd give Bumblebee like a 5.5 or something. It means like, yeah, that was okay. You know, after watching it, did I go out and like, oh man, I got to buy all these Transformer toys? No, that did not happen. Sure, the Cybertron parts were really cool, but they were very few. And I mean, I don't know. All right. So Rise of the Beasts. They're saying that this is like a prequel, reboot, whatever. It's a prequel to me. Like Bumblebee can't talk. That's a Bay thing. I know Unicron was supposed to be Earth and now he's a separate entity. Whatever. I don't even know that. That just could be because they're just ignoring the last night. Like there's so many of these, the Halloween movies where they ignore certain sequels. It's just such a mess. They should have done a complete, clean reboot and say, hi, this is a reboot. I know they didn't want to lose some of the Michael Bay fans, but you're not going to lose that many. It's still giant robots. Like the people that like these Michael Bay movies are like, well, it's giant robots fighting. It's like, right. And they're not characters. So, and even in Bumblebee, it's like, I can't get a handle on Bumblebee as a character. I can't get a sense of any of these other guys as well. It's just like, it's not working for me. They're not characters. They're just machines, right? Now, this movie, they did try to make them characters, but, you know, did they succeed? We'll talk about it. Storyline, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 2. So 1 is a pass. Like, they need to get a thing, right? They need to get a thing, and then they have to do a thing when they get the thing. So it's very standard. That is an average. That's what you would call an average story for this kind of movie. So it's fine. Right? It's an excuse to have the Transformers. There's a couple of things, you know, there's still some like plot holes and stuff, but like it's not really that bad. Like it's definitely not as cringe, or like last night was just awful, and Revenge of the Fallen's not very good either, right? like story-wise, like you're like, what is happening? Like in the last night, I was literally confused. I'm like, wait, how are you stopping Unicron? I've seen that movie twice, and it's like nothing really makes a lot of sense. It just seems like they're throwing shit in it just to put it in. This was simplified, which I actually think is good. At no point in time in this movie was I confused. I'm like, okay, I understand what's happening. I know it's just get a thing to do a thing and do it. I get it. That's a standard formula, but it's okay for this movie because I can follow it and it's fun, right? Okay. The pacing, I'm gonna give the pacing a 1.5 out of 2. This was 2 hours perfect. It could have even been a slightly little bit shorter. And I think they could have removed some of the human element, like some of the human dialogue, and replaced it with Transformer dialogue. Like there's a point where the guy and the girl are Elena and Noah, I believe is the name. Yeah, Noah Diaz, I think, and Elena. So that's pretty good that I even remember the characters' names, because I don't remember any characters' names. And I just watched it last night, and I think Cade is the guy's name. That's it. I don't know anyone else's name. This movie, at least I remember their names, or I'm close to remembering their names. If those aren't the names, let me know, because I didn't do research for this video. I saw this last night. So anyway, at least they're characters, so we'll get to that. But there's a part where they're talking about, what should we do with the world? I wish we would have had a contrast. Because this whole movie is based on sort of Noah and Optimus Prime sticking up for their race, right? So, Prime's trying to protect him. Prime has a story arc, which I don't think is necessary. I'll get to that in the characters. But anyways, that's part of it. They have their little arcs. Both of them kind of trust only their own race, and then they come to trust each other, right? Okay. Because it's a movie and that's what happens. But pacing was still pretty good. I would have liked, it could have been a little bit shorter, or maybe slightly put it a little bit more into the Transformers to have them develop as characters, not just Optimus Prime, but the other ones. Mirage is pretty cool. We'll get to that in a second. Artistry, I'm going to give this like a 1.5, maybe even a 2 out of 2. No, I'm going to give this a 1.5 for artistry. I'm going to tell you why. I like the music. The last battle's insane. It's awesome. The other battles are pretty good. There's about 2 or 3, there's about, let's say 3 battles. The first battle was in the dark. Now, this theater is notorious for being extra dark. Every movie I see in this theater, it's an IMAX. I don't know why they make it so dark. Every movie I see in this theater, when I watch it at home on 4K, I'm like, this looks a lot better at home. So I'll watch it at home on my 65-inch surround sound. I'll buy this movie for sure. But I'm going to give it a 1.5 because it was still a little bit in the beginning, the first battle. After that, it was fine. And some of the design work, like Wheeljack, looks like trash. It's not Wheeljack. They made Mirage Jazz. Like, isn't Jazz a Porsche or whatever? I don't know. It's like, I saw the car. I was like, oh, is that Jazz? Oh, no, that's Mirage. I'm like, well, what? Like, just make Mirage the car that he is. Like, I don't know cars, so I don't know the names of these cars. But the guy who I saw looks more like Jazz than like Mirage. And it's weird. It's like, just make him white. Why is he silver? Like, make him white and blue. And give him the stupid thing on his, like, Mirage, like his big thing was like making the Mirages and like having that missile on his shoulder. Like, why doesn't he have that? Like, missiles on shoulders aren't cool. I don't get it. Like, just have that missile thing. I don't know. I guess they figure when he transforms, they don't know where to hide it. That's whatever. So there's that. But still, 1.5 definitely looks great. Good soundtrack. Good battles, man. The last battle's crazy good. The Maximals look really neat to me. They all look good. Wheeljack is garbage shit. I don't understand why he is one of the most unique looking. If you had a lineup of heads, if you just took their heads, line them up, you're like, oh, that's Wheeljack, because he's got those things on the side and they glow. And he had that in Bumblebee, so what the heck? So there's that. Bumblebee still, I'll get to characters in a minute. Characters 1.5, I'll give it 1.5. I liked the characters. The human people were good. This is the first time where the girl from my memory, the girl in this movie, Elena is the character's name, she actually had a purpose for being there. She wasn't just there. Like, she does stuff. I'm like, okay, she does stuff. That's cool. She has an expertise, so they use her. The guy, Noah, he used to be a soldier, so it makes sense. He can fight or whatever. And, I mean, there's some spoilery things. They give him some extra stuff at the end, which is kind of neat. So I won't say anything that. So that was cool. I like the guy. He at least the guy has a purpose, you know. Cade was okay in the other ones because he was like a mechanic or whatever. But I mean, at least I somewhat cared about these human characters, which like is like astronomical compared to these other Bay movies where I literally don't care about anyone. And not even do I not care about them, I hated them. these characters were fine. So there you go. The Transformers, obviously Optimus Prime's awesome. I don't know why they need to do this. I don't like humans, and by the end I like them. It's like, just have him be a good guy right off the bat. Like, I don't understand why this is such a difficult thing for them to do. Just have him be a good guy. That's it. Mirage, I liked Mirage. Was he the Transformer Mirage from the cartoon? I don't know. Maybe not really, but I like the character that we got. Wheeljack sucks. Who else we got? RC doesn't do enough for me to get pumped up for her. She looks cool though. She's fine. Air Razor was awesome. Michelle Yeoh, she was cool. Optimus Primal was cool. The other Maximals are just there. They don't really do anything. They're just there for a fight. They don't even transform into their robot form, like their bot form, till the very last action scene. They're just mostly animals the whole time. I find that a bit lazy. I would have liked to have seen them, turn into their bot form so I could see them better, but whatever. The villain Scourge is pretty awesome, man. He looks awesome. He's the truck version. He's not like the sweeps, remember in the movie. Oh, the Transformers animated movie is 10 out of 10. Let me get that out of the way. Sorry. I love that movie. That's the best movie. He was cool. The other Decepticons, they're not entities. They're just there, but they look neat. At least I could tell who everyone was, right? Like this is the first time where I could clearly tell who every character was. So that's a big bonus for the artistry. I almost might give it 2 out of 2 for artistry. Let me watch it again. When I watch it again, I might go to 2 out of 2. Enjoyment factor, I'm going to give the enjoyment factor a 1.5, man. I like this movie. I was a bit stunned. So I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. 7 or 8 out of 10 means it's really good. I might even go to 7.5. I might even go to 8 if I watch it again and kind of warm up to it a little bit more. Right now, a 7 out of 10, that is like astronomical for these movies because, again, I'd give Bumblebee a 5. And then after that, I wouldn't even bother. Like maybe Transformers Dark of the Moon, Dark Side of the Moon, or Dark of the... It's like the dumbest titles. I'd probably give that like maybe like a 4.5 or something. The battles in that are good. Like when Shockwave comes and he's destroying that building in part 3, I was like, whoa, that's pretty awesome. So great effects in part 3. That's probably the best of those Bay ones. They probably should have just stopped at that point, really, and then just rebooted it. But Unicron, he's hardly in it, so don't get too excited. But there you go, 7 out of 10. So my 7 out of 10 for this movie, people should be liking it. 3 and 4 made $1 billion. If this doesn't make $1 billion, then I don't know what people are after, because this was like the closest bridge that we could get with like the G1 Transformer fans should be like somewhat okay with this movie. Like there's nothing cringe for me. I didn't barf, last night. Oh man, I was just barfing. It was so awful. I had to watch it like in 4 sections because I could only do I could watch about half an hour. Then I'm like, I gotta take a break. This is so bad. That's how I watched the last night. So I'd give that probably like a 2 out of 10 just for the artistry. Everything looks amazing. Like the fights are good, but that's it. Maybe 2.5 out of 10. Yeah, like this movie, nothing cringy for me. There's some comedy, but it's not like that bad, cheese Michael Bay cringe comedy where it's innuendos and stupid crap like that. It's just, it's just people talking. So I would have liked a bit more focus on the Transformers as characters. That's always going to be there unless the entire thing is about the Transformers, like those cartoons or whatever. But given the fact that we're bridging this, let's get the G1 fans, don't piss off the G1 fans, although Wheeljack is a really big miss. Shame on you guys for that one. That's a really shameful thing because he's a great looking visual character. You effed him up in this movie badly. Just call that thing something else. It's not Wheeljack. Like, it's not even hashtag not my Wheeljack. It's not Wheeljack at all. No. I don't know why that's a fail, but all the other guys are like, okay. So I don't know what happened with that one. That's a super fail. But and then get people like the regular audience and push them together. This has been the closest one. Normally it's like this, and then the G1 fans are like, this sucks. And everyone's like, why do you mean it sucks? Well, because it's not Transformers. This is the first one where it's kind of like together. As a G1 fan, you'd probably give this maybe like a 5 or 6 out of 10. As a regular moviegoer, you should be at around 8. Okay, so I'm going with 7. which is going to be a mix because I'm not a super G1 hardcore mega purist, but obviously that's my preferred version. And it's the thing that I really like, right? And that's what we're reviewing on the channel. We're talking about the comics and the cartoons. We're not going to talk about some of the other ones. Although I like the War for Cybertron trilogy. I thought that was kind of neat, actually. And some people didn't like that. But see, again, I'm not a super G1 mega purist. It's clearly the best thing, but I can take changes. But not Wheeljack because he looks like crap. But, and then for the regular people, you should be excited for this one. Like, if you like those other ones, there's no excuse to not like this one. Like, people saying, well, Bumblebee was great. Well, then you should really like this one because it just makes everything better. There's more Transformer stuff in it. There's lots of great action at the end. So I really hope this makes money so they can continue on this path. Like this, if this had been the first Transformers movie, it would have been way better received, I think, on both parties, both sides. There's a stinger at the end. I'm not going to reveal it. We'll see what happens with that stinger, but anyway. All right, guys, that is it. 7 out of 10. I hope you enjoy Transformers. Check us out on the live stream. Let me know in the comments what you thought. Until next time.